Welcome to our practice session for solving inequalities. For our first example, we're going to solve and graph the inequality 4x plus 10 greater than 26. To begin, I will divide my inequality into a left and a right half. Then we need to use our solving equation skills to get our variable by itself. To begin, we'll subtract 10 from the left side and from the right side. On the left side, they will cancel. We'll bring down our 4x. We'll bring down our greater than sign. And 26 minus 10 will leave us with 16. Now we have 4x greater than 16. To finish solving, we will divide both sides by 4. On the left side, 4 divided by 4 reduces to 1, and we have x greater than 16 divided by 4, which is 4. X greater than 4. To graph that inequality, we go over to our number line, and if I place 0 here at the middle, then we're going to go over to positive 4, and at positive 4, we're going to place an open dot, because we have no equal sign, and we're going to shade to the right because of our greater than sign and the fact that our variable is on the left side. So we have solved and graphed our inequality. For example B, we're going to solve and graph 32 greater than or equal to 2a plus 20. We'll begin by dividing it into a left and right half. We're trying to get a by itself, so the first thing we'll do is subtract 20 from both sides. 32 minus 20 will leave us with 12. We bring down our greater than or equal to sign, and bring down our 2a. Our 20 and negative 20 canceled. Now we have 12 greater than or equal to 2a. To get a by itself, we'll divide the right and the left side by 2, so that we're left with a on the right side, and 12 divided by 2 will give us 6 on the left side. So we have 6 greater than or equal to a. What we're going to do is go over to 6, we have an equal sign with our inequality, so we'll use a closed dot. And because our variable is on the right side, this greater than sign will end up telling us to shade to the left. To do the opposite of what it means whenever our variable is on the right side. So we have solved and graphed this inequality. For example C, we have negative 2 multiplied by b minus 2 greater than or equal to 4. We're going to solve and graph this. First step is to distribute the negative 2. We get negative 2b plus 4 greater than or equal to 4. Now we want to get b by itself, so we'll start by subtracting 4 from both sides. Positive and negative 4 cancel, and we're left with negative 2b greater than or equal to 0. Now to get b by itself, we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. That leaves us with b on the left side. 0 divided by negative 2 is 0 on the right side. But since we divided by a negative number, we're going to flip our inequality sign. And now we have b less than or equal to 0. So if we place 0 here, we know we'll have a closed dot because of our included equal sign. Our variable's on the left side, we have less than, so we will shade to the left. And now we have solved and graphed our inequality. For example D, we're now looking at compound inequalities. We have 3x greater than 9 and 2x less than 10. We're going to solve both of these and graph them both on the same number line. To solve the first one, we divide by 3. and get x is greater than 3. So on my number line, I'm going to go over to 3. I'm going to have an open dot, and I know that this one will shade to the right. I'm not going to finish shading it right now because there's still one more we got to solve. For our second inequality, we divide both sides by 2, and we'll get x less than 5. For that one, we're going to go over to 5. We'll have an open dot, and our shading will point to the left. The shading is pointing towards each other, as it should, and we will shade in between our points. Now we have solved and graphed that compound inequality. Example E is another compound inequality. We have 10 less than x plus 10 less than or equal to 15. For this inequality, we want to divide 3 pieces, the left, the middle, and the right. And we're going to go through and solve for our variable by subtracting 10. In the middle then, all we'll have left is x. We'll still have our less than sign and our less than or equal to sign. Because we subtracted 10 from one side, we're going to subtract that from all the sides, the left, the middle, and the right. On the left side, 10 minus 10 cancels, meaning we just have a 0 left. On the right side, 15 minus 10, we have 5. So our inequality is 0 less than x less than or equal to 5. And when we go to graph that, at 0, we're going to have an open dot. Going over to 5, we're going to have a closed dot. And our and inequalities shade between our points. So now we have solved and graphed this inequality. Now for example F, we're solving 2x less than 0 or 4x greater than 4. This is another example of a compound inequality. And for this, we have 2 inequalities to solve. We'll solve the left one by dividing by 2. We get x less than 0. So at 0, we are going to have an open dot, and we know that this will shade to the left. I will finish that shading later. For 4x greater than 4, what we need to do is divide both sides by 4. And that leaves us with x greater than 1. So I go over to 1. We have another open dot that will shade to the right. Here our pointing for the green goes to the left and the blue goes to the right. They're pointing away from each other, which means our shading will also point away from each other. My left point points to the left. My right point points to the right. And now we have solved and graphed our inequalities.